All right, we're talking about rotations. Section 2-3. And when you rotate an image around a point, it preserves the angle measurements, it preserves the line lengths, and it preserves the distance from the rotation to the points. So we're talking about having one spot and having a shape, and we're going to rotate that shape around this point. So we can build rotations using a protractor. So the question would say something like, can you rotate a shape 150 degrees counterclockwise around a point? So what you're going to do is you're going to measure each distance from the point, the vertex of the shape, to the P, which is the rotation spot. And the distance is going to be the same after that 150 degree rotation. Here's what it looks like. If we're going to rotate triangle ABC around point P counterclockwise 150 degrees, we are going to start with the protractor point right on P, and we're going to extend the line to A. So with A at 0 and point P at 6 centimeters, we are going to make sure that our ruler is along that 0 line. So you can see if I line up the 0 line, I need to adjust and bring A there. So now that's at 0 degrees, and we're going to rotate this 150 degrees. So this is on the 6 and 150 degrees, and A is right there, A prime. So now we're going to do the same with B. We're going to make sure that B, this point's straight at B, and I want the centimeter side, and I want that point and the 0 line to line up so that now we're on 10.5. So we're going to line the ruler up along the 0 line. We're going to make sure that the cross is right there on P, and we're going to adjust this so that our 0 is a straight line here now. This is 10.4. We're going to rotate the ruler 150 degrees and start at 10.4. And there's our point B. Is our new triangle, rotated 150 degrees. So stop here, do B, do the reflection questions numbers 4 and 5, and come back when you're done. So for the reflection, we're going to trace ABC. We're going to hold a pencil down on P and rotate. So you trace it and you hold a pencil down and you rotate it so that this point doesn't move. You poke holes in the tracing paper and you can make new points that way. The other one, what we're talking about, is rotating DEF to DEF prime around Q. And if you measure the points so that they're the same distance, all you have to do then is take your protractor and measure the angle, and the angle ends up being 75 degrees. From here to here is 75 degrees. So here we have number 4, where we've rotated JKL to JKL prime and STU to STU prime. Next, we have rotations on a coordinate plane. If you are talking about working on a coordinate plane and you are rotating exactly 90, 180, or 270 degrees, of course, if you rotate 360 degrees, it's going to go right back onto where it started. So that one you don't have to worry about. If you rotate something 90 degrees, whatever x and y were, your new points are going to be negative yx. 270 degrees is going to be y negative x. And if you rotate something 180 degrees, you end up with negative x, negative y. These are good to remember because you're going to get a lot of these thrown at you. And knowing the shortcuts makes this much easier. So here we have A, B, C, D, and we want to rotate this counterclockwise 270 degrees. Well, 270 degrees means that our xy is now y comma negative x. So A used to be 0 comma 2 and A is now 2 comma negative 0. So A, whoops, that's 2 right there. A prime is here. Oh, and prime is up there, sorry. B is 1 comma 4. B was 1 comma 4. It's now 4 comma negative 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1. This is B prime. C used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. 4, 2 is now 2, negative 4. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is C prime. And D used to be 3, 1 and is now 1, negative 3. 1, negative 3. D prime. So now our shape is here. You've taken this and you've rotated it around to there. This one shows a movement from KLM to KLM prime by rotating it 180 degrees. Notice that it's not a flip over a diagonal line, it's a rotation. That point used to be here and is rotated around and is now on this side, where a flip, the point would be on this side. Take a moment and try the reflection question and number 7, 8. Pause here, come back when you're done. So for 810 degrees, for every time you hit 360, you go around all the way. So we're going to subtract 360, which is going to get us 450. There's still 360 in there. We subtract again, we end up with 90. So that's going to be a 90-degree rotation, so we're going to end up in quadrant 2. This is number 7, where we go from PQR to PQR prime with a 90-degree rotation, and from DEFG to DEFG prime with a 270-degree rotation counterclockwise. Specifying rotation is important. You have your pre-image and your image shape and a rotation point. If you draw a line from one point to the rotation and from the rotation to its image point, you can measure that angle so that you can tell how many degrees it was rotated. For example, ABC is here and ABC prime is here, and it's rotated around point P. And the question is, how much was it rotated? So we're going to measure, and you see it doesn't even touch that, which means I'm going to have to go this way. It's exactly there. And so now for A to be exactly here, that is a 130-degree rotation. And we also have to tell the direction. It's 130 degrees clockwise because there's another 130 on this side. Make sense? Try reflections 9 and 10 and number 11, and then elaborate numbers 12 to 14 and come back when you're done. For number 9, That's no, as long as they are corresponding points. Number 10, yes, you can go the other direction and go 280 degrees clockwise. Number 11, this was a 70 degrees clockwise rotation. Number 12, you can measure the line from one point to the rotation point, and then you move the number of degrees and you draw that line, and then you repeat for all the other points, and that's how you get from one to the next. Number 13, you're going to show that the lines are different lengths, or you're going to show that the angle from the point to the image aren't equal. And number 14, x and y become negative y, x. And that's all we have for this. Your homework is 2 to 12 even and 13 to 25 all. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you tomorrow.